This is a topic I really want to hit hard. We even get clients that ask us that they have these great access trails and they say, boy, we're using this for hunting access. We need this to get to our food plots or whatever it is, but we don't need this one. Do we just let it grow over? And no, I love seeing those access roads be kept clean and open. And there's several reasons for keeping your access roads clean. We actually spend the majority of our winter time, if we're not cutting bedding areas, we're keeping our access roads open and clean. And in this case, on this road right here, we're not only just going to keep it clean, I like to see these planted. I want to see you get in and out of your access roads quietly, and we want to widen this. And so I want this to be wide. Part of the reason is we get a lot of briars and brush and some of the box elders, for example, or some of the shrubs, they start filling in on this. So after a couple of years, we're walking through here and we're leaving a lot of scent brushing across and over things. So I want this to be fairly flat when we're coming through here. Also, very steep down below, and up top is where we would hide ourselves from deer. So if we widen this, we're gonna cut into the bank right here. We're gonna widen it out a little bit more. We'll end up with a 2.5 foot bank on this side, so we're even further hidden coming back and forth through here. I want these access roads quiet and able to walk in. The way we do that is we widen them. We're making sure they're scent free. People ask, what do you plan on? And I've seen people, they talk about, oh, we have 3 miles of access road. Think about all the food we could have if we plant all of them. Well, a lot of them are in the woods and they won't grow. There won't be anything appreciable when you do plant them. But think about it, we're using these for our deer hunting access. Just like walking across an open food plot when deer might be there and you spook them. Now it's great during daylight hours, you get in and out, that's fine. But really bad when we invite deer to this trail right here, and especially if we have miles of trails, which we do, and then we're just walking through here and spooking them potentially to get to a deer stand. I want something marginal value. Now, if we plant a yard down here, a yard grass, then to me, we have to mow it, weeds will take over. I want something with a little broadleaf in there. So we came up with our Green Max Traffic blend. And that's just, I'll tell you what it is. You can mix your own, but it's 4 grasses, vetch, birchfoot, trefoil, clover. We took a couple popular mixes that I'd used in the past, blended them with a purpose. And the reason is for that blend is we can actually mow it. There's enough broadleaf in to keep other weeds from coming in. It's aggressive and it develops a sod base. Also, this is really important, it's low value for forage. We put it around our water holes and areas like that where we don't want erosion, where we want a good sod base. Think about if you put clover around your water holes, for example, all those hooves come in and those deer drinking and they dig up that clover and it turns into a big muddy mess. So we want something more of a sod base. It's no different on trails that we're driving on. We know deer are gonna walk on. So we wanna mow that. We want it to stay low, which is a purpose for the broadleaf and just perennial grasses. And we want that to be low so it's not coming up and brushing along the side of us, which is why we keep our trails wide so we're not leaving a big scent trail every time we come in and out of here. We want it mowed, low to the ground, soft, erosion proof, quiet, doesn't hold a bunch of scent when we come in. And that access in and out of our hunting stands is critical. We also use that in hillsides to avoid erosion too. But think about it. The time to clear your access trails or enjoy them, build them, isn't in July and August, it's right now. And what we actually do this time of year, and we had Joel come through and do this in late spring, mid-spring last year, was we'll hinge off the side of our access trails so we can get sunlight into them, and actually we're able to grow that Green Max Traffic blend or whatever you plant on it. That also dries out the soil to avoid erosion and slipping with tires, or in our case, our tracks. And that's really critical too. So in a lot of areas, we'll recommend clients to at least cut a portion of timber on either side so there's a little bit more sunlight coming into that trail. That growth and that something like the Green Max Traffic blend soaks up a lot of water, so that keeps standing water from forming in your roads and creating more erosion when you drive through it. So bottom line though, we don't want it to be deer food. We don't want to invite those deer to our access. We want it to be soft and quiet coming through. The opposite of that, when I mow switchgrass and that switchgrass starts to come up and it almost forms like a little stalk. We walk through that during November, December, it is loud. It's like walking on pieces of straw that are stiff and you step on it and it cracks and breaks. We want the opposite of that. So we want this to be no deer. We want it to be soft. We don't want it to hold scent. And really, you know, one of the big things, as the older I get, the more I appreciate being able to come to a logging road like this and get a deer out. Now, if it goes down to the bottom down there, I'm gonna actually go down there and have to frame pack it out because it's so steep. Or I'll ask the neighbor if we can maybe come through there, but I don't like doing that. I don't like asking for favors from the neighbors because usually you have to reciprocate, and I'd rather have total control of what we're doing. These roads are part of that. They're not only a part of our enjoyment of the hunt, getting in and out, leaving little scent, being very quiet, not giving that food for deer, but they're also a lot of fun in the off season. We spend a lot of time on our side-by-sides during the off season, whether we're putting out trail cameras, building bedding areas, filling water holes, or just plain going for nice rides in the woods with family like we did this entire last weekend, and we're out enjoying the land. So keeping these trails open, as many as you can. We're actually adding several more this year. There's one right up here about 100 yards. It comes down. We just need to add about 60, 70 yards to connect to this one. We can't wait to do so, and we're doing that in other areas this year too. So roads are critical. Our access is critical, and so these roads become critical to everything we do on the property. When you're creating roads, be very careful, and just add this right at the end, where when you're bulldozing through heavy timber, when you're taking that timber out, make sure you conserve as much topsoil as possible. I've seen a lot of roads that are scraped. All the trees and debris are off to the side along with a lot of topsoil, and it makes it a beaver trail for 8, 10 feet wide as far as you can see. Instead, try to pull that soil back, use that soil as much as possible, use a root rake if possible on your dozer blade, but in all cases, conserve as much soil as possible, and then by adding that seed mix on to fill in that base and that sod, then you'll soak up a lot of water, and that's where the clover comes in, the bird's-foot trefoil, the vetch, they all soak up a lot of water, and they help you develop that great base so you can enjoy not only using your roads for deer season, but using these roads for getting deer out and for certainly all off season. Because again, I talk about this, and I've talked about this in recent videos, the time that you should stay off your property or give the deer the illusion you're staying off your property is deer season, not the rest of the year. Enjoy your land off season, get to know it, use it, scout it, and you'll be farther, much further ahead going into hunting season, which is the time the deer, unfortunately, people have that flip so much. They spook deer off their food plots, their access in and out during hunting season. They stay off it all year, but then they blow it during hunting season. Flip that around, and you'll have a great hunt this fall. I appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel, but I don't know if everyone knows everything that we have to offer, whether it's on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, our website, or WHS Wildlife Blends, our seed company. Also Instagram you can check out. I'm very active on Instagram, putting strategies on there, photos of what we do every day. Much more active there than Facebook. But our seed, web classes, books, clients, articles. I have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, everything whitetail strategy. Of course, we have hats on there, and then make sure to check us out on Instagram again. But lots of stuff to offer. We're always coming out with new things, and this isn't the end of it. We have more things coming soon. Make sure to check us out.